On every top of an Indian temple, still today, you have a vimana. Some of the vimanas look like today's UFOs. They had the shape round or elliptic. Other vimanas had another form. But still on top of the Indian temple is a vimana. And the vimana was one of the flying machines of the Hindu gods. Vimana is what we would call today a space shuttle. It's just a small space vehicle which moves between the planet and the mother spaceship in orbit. But with the Vimana itself, you don't make space travel from star to star. These diagrams are not extremely old. Some of these diagrams were created only in the 17th century. They are not thousands of years old. In some of these Indian books, these designers who made these diagrams, they designed it out of the old text. They read the old text, and because of these texts, they made a design. Well, it must have looked like that and that. But the fact is, there were different types of vimanas which looked completely different, comparable to a helicopter and a jumbo jet. It's not the same thing, but both machines can fly. The idea of chariots of the gods has come in the Bible with the prophet Ezekiel. But the prophet Ezekiel, again, you can compare to Indian chariots. You know, what the Indian gods were flying in chariots. The chariots were always vimanas. The chariots were always what we would call space vehicle, but not mother spaceships. The chariots only had a small distance. They could move in our solar system, but not to another star. These Indian descriptions about flying machines are not just fantasy, are not just allegories. No, they were real because the humans saw them and whole groups of humans saw them and then described what they saw. They described that one of the gods descended with the Vimana and the humans, hundreds of it, were watching them. They described that some of these Vimanas had wheels and others had no wheels. They described the noise which the Vimanas made. At least some of the Vimanas made noise. Others were quiet. So all this we have descriptions. Descriptions handed down and written by humans. Just read the book Drona Parva. It's full of these flying machines of ancient India. Professor Dr. Kanjilal, who is the Sanskrit professor of the Sanskrit College in Calcutta, a brilliant man, he has in our modern time translated some of these Indian Vedas in a special book with the name Flying Machine in Ancient India. And this is a proper scientific work. It's like in the Bible, for example. In the Bible, you have Moses, first book of Moses, chapter 3, then verse number 27. The translation of Professor Dr. Kanjilal is the same thing. He writes, such Veda, chapter XY, verse XY, and so on. It's a scientific work. There is absolutely no doubt, for the one who knows it, that in India flying machines were described and different types of flying machines. And there is no doubt that there were mother spaceships, which were around the Earth in an orbit.